Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. Today I want to talk about what I really hate about this space and what's wrong with this space and why a lot of people don't take this space seriously, especially those in actual finance. And I think this quote, essentially, this is on Crypto Erie's Twitter. I think this quote epitomizes the problem. And this person says, "Thank you, Erie, for bringing honesty to the crypto space. You are the last and only crypto YouTuber I follow. However, I have come to realize through your videos that the truth is much less helpful to the investor and much more boring than what someone would consider spending time with. Unsubscribe." Now, this is a huge, huge problem. And I think at least part of this statement is untrue. The truth is much less helpful to the investor. Yes, it is much more boring. The truth, you can make fiction fantasy stories and they will be extremely colorful and exciting. Like, yes, my coin is going to take over the world and run all its money. But see, that's not very likely to happen. In fact, there's almost no chance that will happen. And the thing is, the truth will actually help you make more money because the truth sets realistic expectations that will actually get you to sell at the right time. Yes, you can wait until your $10 investment turns into billions upon trillions of dollars, but that generally isn't going to happen. And for the small coins where it seems like you have trillions of dollars, technically you can't really sell those because they don't really have any liquidity for that price. Yes, Shiba Inu did make some people rich that got in really, really early. I have to admit that. But for most of these coins, especially those coins, and of course, you're talking about crypto here, you're probably talking about XRP, especially for those coins that already have a multi-billion-dollar market cap, expecting a $100 investment to make you tens of thousands, well, not even tens of thousands, but millions of dollars is just not realistic. And if you follow the YouTube videos that basically say that it's going to take over the world and it's going to be, $10,000 each, you're never going to get anywhere. In fact, the opportunity cost of you holding on forever will greatly outweigh any rewards that you actually get from that investment because you're missing out on the rest of the crypto space, i.e. the last 5 years or so. Most other things, like whether it's Cardano, VeChain, even Ethereum and BNB have gone massively up, while XRP has essentially stayed in place. Part of that is because of the lawsuit, but even before the lawsuit, the price wasn't really doing that great. But it's not only XRP that we're talking about here, it's other coins as well. You can wish upon a star, but that generally isn't as good as actually following reality and seeing how the market's actually playing out. And that's what that's what real reporting actually is. Real reporting isn't basically reporting on fanciful ideas that never really ever come to light, but it's actually reporting on things based on what's most likely going to happen. I think when people are saying million dollar Bitcoin within 3 years, I think they're really being fanciful. But if you're saying maybe 150,000 within 3 years, I think that's much, much more likely to happen. So should you base your economic prospects on $1 million Bitcoin in the next 3 years or $100,000 in the next 3 years? 100,000, much more probable because that Bitcoin's actually going to go down after it rises. That almost always happens. In fact, it does always happen. So trying for that million in the next 3 years, you're probably going to end up holding the bag. Whereas if you go for the 150,000 in the next 3 years, you might actually sell out on time and making some money. And that's the thing. Markets are actually supposed to be boring most of the time. Real markets that aren't scams are actually supposed to be interesting most of the time. Now, I would actually tend to guess that a lot of the people in crypto are actually in it for the scams because they think they can pre-sell the scam and get out with their money. Most people fail in doing that, but then they just do it again because they keep on believing they can do it over and over and over again. But that's also not the case. Most people actually can't do that and they just lose money over and over and over again because obviously they go for these scams, they don't sell out on time, and basically they keep falling for them multiple times in a row because they don't want the boring. See, the boring is basically in crypto, that's still a lot of gains. The boring is average maybe 20, 30, 40% annualized returns per year. The exciting is I'm going to make 100x within the first 3 months. While that's somewhat possible, especially if you go with small coins, but with small coins, you really can't invest that much because the liquidity won't let you withdraw during that time. And with bigger coins, that's just really not going to happen. It takes way too much money to actually pump that. So the thing is like, yeah, most mature markets or markets that are maturing, they're going to get more boring. But if you figure out the patterns within that boring, you actually make a lot of money. And the way you figure out patterns with that boring is actually listening to more truthful, is listening to actually like more truthful reports, more truthful channels, and channels that don't hype up things like crazy. But Crypto Erie is probably one of the, if not the best, that report on XRP. And the thing is, like, her reports don't really, predict sky high prices. I don't think she actually predicts prices. I mean, she's optimistic about it, but she's not like crazy optimistic about it, like, oh, it's going to take over the world. Hers is more like reasonable and more controlled than the others. And I think it actually provides good, valuable information. But see, it seems like a lot of people in crypto don't like that good, valuable information and just want pure hype. So essentially, what I'm saying is most people think the crypto industry is a joke because essentially people like this are asking to get scammed, more or less. They're like, please scam me with your bright and colorful stories. We don't want the truth. We want to be scammed, because that's essentially what this excerpt from him actually is. So if you're wondering why like a lot of people don't take the crypto industry seriously, this is exactly why. And it's not just him. It's a huge chunk of people who invest in crypto that hold this view and hold this sentiment. So let me know what you think, like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.